Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football United TV and United Across the Globe. I am joined today by two very special guests. Lauren Page, how you doing?
Hello.
Nice to see you again. Glad to see you. And of course, Maisie, how you doing?
Hey. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Doing all right. It's Thursday. It's payday. A little bit peed off about maybe Phil Jones coming in. As you probably all know, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're here to talk about specifically the Leicester preview this weekend. Let's start with you, Lauren. How do you feel about this fixture going into it? I mean, the Foxes haven't been doing so well recently, so maybe it's time for us to pounce on that and actually get a good result at their ground. What do you make of this fixture?
I think before the international break and before the injury worries, I was going in with a lot of confidence. I think now my confidence is slightly lacking, but with their form at the moment, they're just not getting the results. So they're 13th in the table. You know, they're looking like a team that can be beat. So for me, I'm more confident than I am doubtful that we're going to win, but I am still worried about, as you mentioned, the defense for me, because you've got Jamie Vardy, who has scored, I think, 4 in the last 5 goals, something like that. So you've always got him. If we're defensively weak, you've got to worry.
Mm-hmm. It is a worry, isn't it? Right, Maisie? I mean, he's not played for a very long time, and we were trying to shift him out, and it hasn't happened. He's still there. I think 11 years now at the club.
Yeah.
What do you make of this, Maisie?
He's been there that long. He could have had a testimonial and everything. He's just been there that long. It's just absolutely. He's not had one.
No, do you know why? He said he didn't want one. He got offered one. He said he didn't want one because no one would turn up. Only his mum and dad would turn up.
Oh,
I'm sure Matt will turn up now. He feels a bit like.
That's what I said. I was like, I'll be there.
It is quite a worry though, but this is the game here, especially now we've got hard fixtures coming up. We've got Liverpool coming up the following game. We've got Atalanta as well. We've got Spurs. We've got Manchester City all coming up. This game, out of all games, is the game where you do need these 3 points to make sure that we're staying in that top 4 bracket. So for me, even though we've got some defensive issues, we're still a better team than Leicester at this moment in time because they've been absolutely awful. And Jamie Vardy is the one who is actually carrying that team right now, because if it wasn't for Jamie Vardy, they'd be in a much worse situation.
I absolutely agree. He's very good at the moment, and he's 34, nearly 35. I mean, is there any stopping Vardy right now? He seems to be like a sort of Ronaldo Messi at the moment. He's getting better by age, like a bit of wine. You know what I mean? Like he's keeping classic. Would you agree with that, Lauren? Like you think it's trouble for Man United to see Vardy playing so well?
Yeah, definitely. I think he don't get the kind of same recognition, I don't think. So I think people forget how old he is, because Cavani's the same age as well, and everyone hypes up Cavani, Messi, Ronaldo, but how they're still doing it at their age. I'm not saying, Vardy's at the caliber of those 3, but what I'm saying is he doesn't get the recognition of his age. But I think because he did come into the ranks quite late, I think we do then forget how old he actually is. But at this moment in time, it looks like there's absolutely no stopping him. There's no trouble with his fitness. He's still banging in the goals. So, yeah, he's definitely a problem.
I think he is. I think that a lot of clubs wanted him, didn't they, back in the day? And they probably sort of look at it and realise that actually he's going to be someone that you want when they're getting older. Like he can still, like how we bought Ronaldo to score our goals now. He's that sort of similar thing, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he'll go on for quite a long time. I don't know what it is about Vardy. I don't know what he's drinking. The Leicester. I know he drinks a lot of Red Bulls for breakfast. He has admitted that himself, quote. But Yeah, I mean, but look, they're having a shaky time at the moment. Brendan Rodgers is under fire. Maisie, do you think we can pounce on that though? The fact that they're not feeling quite comfortable at the moment.
Right now, that's all we do need to do. We do need to pounce on them right now, and we do need to make sure that we try and put our strongest squad out possible. For me, I just think Pogba needs to go into midfield. I won't put him on the left whatsoever, just because I feel like he is a much better player as a midfielder. Them odd games he can play on the left, but I don't feel like the Leicester game is the right game for him to play on the left, and he needs to play on midfield, maybe with Matic perhaps. Or Scott McTominay. I would prefer him to play with Matic. That'd be my personal favourite. But knowing that Matic is getting a little bit older now, maybe Ollie might just prefer to give Scott McTominay that a little bit more of a chance because he's got that more fitness compared to Matic. There's rumours as well that Rashford could be back, so that's always a plus as well, having Rashford back on the left because he's got that speed. You know he can score a goal, you know he can assist. He will help whoever is up front, if that's going to be Ronaldo or Cavani. We've got that plus on pretty much every single area of our pitch compared to Leicester's. We've got a better attack. We've got if Scott and Pogba or Pogba and Matic play, we've got a better midfield. I think obviously De Gea is in much better form than Kasper Schmeichel at this moment in time. Also, it's just that issue of that defensive issue, and if, for example, our midfield is up to scratch, maybe we won't have to rely on too much in our centre backs and our left back and our right back.
I'd agree with that, right, Lauren? I mean, look, our central defence midfield is clearly not great at the moment. I mean, Fred against Colombia the other day didn't even play that position and looked amazing, apparently. So what's going wrong with the squad tactics? I think maybe Ollie might be out of his depth to try and pick the perfect team. That's my own personal opinion, but do you think like we can solve that situation?
I think with the Fred situation, he might have looked great, in the international games, but sometimes you come to Man United, it doesn't work. The inconsistency with Fred, and then he goes through stages and really weird. Like he'll have really bad stages, and he'll be the worst player to ever set foot on on the United pitch. But then he'll have a game where he's looking really good, and you think, oh, are we getting him back? Is Fred going to start playing again? And then the next game again, he's absolute shit, or he gives away goals. So I don't know. I don't know why Ollie's persisting with him, because it's not working. We have other options. I mean, we still need that CDM, that solid CDM. But I think Ollie at the moment is persisting with the wrong players. Give Donny that shot. I am not one of these people that keeps preaching free Donny, free Donny. I'm not that passionate about it. But when you're looking the likes of Fred on the pitch and Donny's not getting a look in, I can't understand it. And that's where I have my problem with Ollie. I was always back my manager, but it's getting harder to defend him when he's persisting with the likes of Fred, who is not performing. And my worry is that McTominay performs better when Fred's next to him.
Yeah.
And it's like a catch-22. I don't think Ollie knows what to do, and I don't know whether I have the answer either, because we have this weird circle of the McFred thing, and he's got a tough job at the moment. People might say, "Oh, it's easy," and people will tell him what to do. But I think realistically, when you're in that position, it's a tough job. But one of the answers is stop persisting with Fred when he's playing shit.
It's music to my ears, Lauren. Music to my ears. Difficult though, isn't it? Van der Beek as well, kind of being pushed away from the club now. I'm hearing reports that he might go in January. He hasn't even really been given the chance, has he, Maisie? And we don't really know what he's all about. We know he's a terrific player. He gets picked for Holland. So I don't get why Ollie doesn't pick him. What do you make of that?
It's quite a tough one, because you do think, why isn't Donny playing when you've got a McFred partnership there and it just does not work? I can understand if, for example, Pogba was playing in midfield and Bruno's at that number 10 not to start Donny because we need a bit more of a defensive player, and Donny isn't a defensive midfielder, so you understand that point. But if, for example, Pogba or Bruno came off, why not put Donny on, because he is more incapable to play on them kind of roles, because that's where he was trained at with Ajax. There's a couple of questions is, why isn't Donny playing? And you do question on that because he is a very capable player. You have seen that at Ajax. You've seen him play in the Holland squad. So you think, is it something away from the team? Is something going on there in training perhaps where he is not showing to Ollie that he is capable of starting? But when I do watch Donny start, I'm not too sure if people will agree on this, but when you start for Manchester United and you're not getting them chances, you need to show Ollie and you need to say to him, I am the best player on this pitch. I am better than Bruno Fernandes. I am better than Paul Pogba. You give me this chance and I am going to prove to you why you have not shown me why I have not started yet and why you should pick me going forward. I can't exactly really name that standout game for Donny at Manchester United so far, where what has convinced me for Donny to be a proper starting 11 player. And you do question, is it because of all his tactics, or is he not suited to the Premier League, or is it maybe he could be just do better at a different club, or is it because maybe he might just suit somebody else's tactics a little bit better? These questions what's all up in the air, but for me, I just feel like at this moment in time, maybe Donny just isn't really that suited for Manchester United at this moment in time, and perhaps maybe give him that loan move maybe if he doesn't want to sell him because of this Paul Pogba situation and he might not be signing that contract, give him a short-term loan. But if Pogba does sign, then it's quite unfair to keep sabotaging a player's career and just to leave him on the bench, because Donny's 23. At the age of 23, you want to develop as that player. So if he isn't going to get that first 10 minutes and Pogba signs, then I don't want to say this, but he is probably better off getting that move somewhere else.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm hearing a lot about that as well. His agent came out, I think, quite recently, Donny's agent, and said he understands that he's got to work harder to get that position. You can't just go in and go, am I expected to play every single game? You can't give anyone the recognition to say, yeah, okay, you are going to play every single game. There you go. You've got to work hard to get your position. It's the same with Lingard, I think, as well. You know, how they said, like you've got a chance to make it in the team. But it doesn't really look like he has, does it? And he was doing so well at West Ham, and he could have gone on to potentially get more player of the months and do very well at a club that he felt. I don't feel he's like really been born into the Man United team, Lingard.
I think I actually, in a weird way, disagree, because if you think about in the positions we've got a lot of competition going forward. So it is hard to I actually agree that he should have stayed at West Ham, but I think he's getting played more than I thought he was going to, personally. I genuinely thought he was going to be a proper bench warmer. We'd never see him. He'd absolutely waste his late 20s on the bench at United. But by the looks of things, I think in Ollie's mind and in what he wants Lingard to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He wants Lingard to be that impact sub, comes on, creates goals, makes goals. And I think at the moment, he's proving Ollie right, and Ollie's using him. Some players don't always have to start to be a great player, in my opinion. Lingard being that impact sub, I think, is working perfectly, and I think Ollie's using him correctly currently.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think he has done his part. He is doing well. He has scored some goals. He did obviously make a mistake between the young boys game.
I almost forgot about that.
He scored enough decent goals and set up enough decent goals to forget that little one.
Yeah, I never forgot it, unfortunately. I don't know.
Maybe I'm to forget about it. I wanted to.
I can't forget anything that Man United do wrong. You know, like the goalkeeper through the legs. You remember that? You know?
We're bringing back bad ones here.
There are quite a few, aren't there? But we've got some very good memories as well of Man United, especially. But I mean, looking at so I was listening to Paul Ince today, and Fred apparently says he compares himself to Paul Ince, and Paul Ince said, "Look, if he said if I was you, I'd do exactly the same as what I did with Robson. I'd ask him." What am I doing wrong? Where can I go? What can I make better about my play? So yeah, Fred, get on the phone to Paul Ince and ask him some advice, because clearly
you need
you're
it.
You're not getting it from your coaches. So yeah, do you think maybe it's to do with coaching as well, the fact that he's not being told how to play his role, or whether he should play a different role? Lauren?
I do think there's some issues with the coaching staff, personally, tactically and working with the players. But you can't teach someone how to pass. And Fred cannot pass the ball. You can't, when you're watching the issues where Fred is losing the ball in the midfield, this cannot be put on all the other coaching staff. This is Fred who
doesn't know,
can't play a pass. That's a problem when you're playing in the midfield.
Lauren, he probably couldn't even pass a breathalyzer test with no alcohol in him. Was that right to say that?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, he'll still fail. Would you agree there, Maisie, as well? Like, you just think that he's not really being coached properly, or he doesn't quite know how to play a position. That's not his position, though, is it? CDM.
No, it isn't really.
It's horrible to see. Two at the back. Ugh. Skulls would be like puking in a bucket. One player at the back, right, Maisie?
Yeah. Our only proper defensive midfielder is Matic, and the rest of them are more central midfielders or box-to-box midfielders. Matic is our only defensive midfielder we really have. Obviously, James Garner, who's on loan as well, he's another CDM, but he isn't ready at this moment in time for Manchester United. Maybe next season, perhaps in the season after, and we can't play Matic all the time because he doesn't have the legs anymore, which is very unfortunate. I do think to myself, I wish we got him 5 years ago. I wish he was 5 years younger. I want prime Matic right now. Our problems will be solved. Can I have a fairy godmother to sort this out for me?
Get the wand out.
But for me, in terms of bad passing, because you do see a lot of bad passing, I have to agree with Warren. A simple footballer would know how to pass a ball. But in terms of other coaching, I do look at it and think our set pieces last season was absolutely horrendous. And you can tell that was down to the coaching, because look, we've got Ramsey here now. Our set pieces are a whole lot better. And you look at, like, for instance, Michael Carrick, who is a coach. He came from a retiring to straight into first team coaching. He's really gone into the academy, done some coaching with the academy for a few years, then gone into the first team. Like McKenna, he was an under-18s coach at Manchester United beforehand. He was at a different club. I can't remember what club he was at now. But I know he was at another club beforehand, and he did some coaching there. So we needed to do what McKenna done and then bring him into the first team once he was ready. I just don't think it was very a smart move. I know it wasn't Ollie who done that. It was Van Gaal who done that. He brought Michael Carrick in straight away. But I think it was a very wrong move. But when Ollie did come to the club, that was his responsibility to be like, right, I don't want you here coaching. I want someone else here coaching. He could have done that as a new manager, and he didn't really do that. So, but I do feel like in some parts it is the coaching fault, and you are hearing a lot more rumours now that the people are unhappy with the coaching, and so there is definitely something what's going on backstage.
Yeah, Maisie, I completely agree, and I'll throw this to you as well, Lauren. You got Carrick, who was so good at his position. Clearly, can he not see that there's a problem in that position? I mean, it doesn't take that much to really realise that your position that you used to play isn't actually there anymore. You got two players doing the job that you did on your own. That's already a fault, isn't it?
I have a really weird Carrick, I don't get in this coaching staff. You never see him talk. You never see him really doing much. He kind of just looks like a sap on the sideline as the face that's just been put there because he won all this, he won all that with us. He was only one of the only players to win pretty much everything. Club, I can't understand what he's actually doing there. What is his job? I don't know who knows. I don't think Ollie knows. I don't think Phelan knows. I don't think he knows what he's there for. I think that's the problem. If he was there for the specific job of working on, he knows best, and that's his position in that midfield role, I think we'd see a massive difference. But don't think he has the power to make those kinds of decisions to say to Ollie, we need, let's sort this, let's sort that. I think he is kind of just there to be the yes man for the kind of the other coaches, which is sad, really. Yeah, it's sad, but that's why I agree with Maisie as well that he shouldn't have come straight into first team coaching. He should have built his way up, like many other Premier League players that have done that. Even the likes of, I don't want to say his name, it's going to make me be sick, but John Terry. He's gone with, well, it was Aston Villa, but it's not flipping Man United, is it? Aston Villa were Championship when he went there. So for me, it's just I think it was an all round poor decision for Carrick to be a first team coach, and I honestly don't think he knows what he's doing.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's got the experience he has as a player, but if he can't even recognise that problem, which was something that he had to deal with throughout most of his career, then that sort of makes you feel a bit shaky, doesn't it, Maisie? We'll also talk about Ronaldo. Let's go on to Ronaldo a little bit. He's in form, and he was obviously dropped the last Premier League game that we played against Aston Villa until the second half. You got to play him. You got to start Ronaldo, ain't you, Maisie? Like your best player, surely our best player. I mean, Pogba's like undecided whether he wants to stay or not at the moment. I know there's 400k on the cards for him. They've offered him, but Ronaldo's the main man, isn't he?
Ronaldo is definitely the main man. He is the voice of the squad. I feel like with Cristiano Ronaldo there at Manchester United, it gives that little bit more pressure onto Ollie as well, because it's that bigger expectation. Because you think Ronaldo's at the club, right? We need to win every single game. We need to get into knockout stages. We need to get far in cups. So it just brings. So if the expectation was here last season, the expectation is here now.
Yeah, I think with the signing of Sancho as well. In that same transfer window.
And Varane
exactly. 3 big signings in one window. You're totally right.
So he's been backed, isn't he now, Ollie? Like,
he
you know how he
back.
said before, like that he's not got the players maybe that he wanted, or he's definitely been back now. Oh, and look who turns up!
Here he is.
Can you hear me?
No,
we can hear.
Not very well. Not very well.
You can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Yeah.
You sound like you're on a mobile phone on a train in Dubai or something like that. It's very far away.
I'm just in my car. Sorry, mate.
That's all right, mate. Well, what's your thoughts then, Talk, on what we were talking about? About a couple of things, actually. Let's talk about maybe the Fred McTominay position we were talking about beforehand.
Is it Michael Carrick you're talking about?
Yeah.
I was listening and I agreed, because obviously, he was a great player, and like you said, he's not identified the problem there in midfield. So, you know what I mean? That was his forte. So, yeah, he must be. He's got armbands on and he can't swim without them. So, for me, the pair of them aren't good enough. McKenna or him, and like I'll quote Gary Neville. Best in class. They ain't the best in class for United. So simple as that, isn't it?
Is it as simple as that, Lauren? Do you think?
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. I think Talk said it right. It is, and that I think that then solidifies the problem, basically.
Would you agree, Maisie?
Completely, yeah. It's just the coaching is just simply not good enough at the club.
It isn't. What do you think we need to do then, Talk, in that coaching position? Like, ex-players hasn't worked, has it? Do we need people that actually know the job that haven't actually done the job? Because he's done the job. He knows how to play that role. But for some reason, he can't see with his two eyes the problem with Man United's CDM position.
Yeah, but I mean, let's not forget here that, listen, when it comes to coaching, you know, you're talking about like group coaching and individual coaching, and in order to do both, you need to have a certain amount of like management skills. So, you know what? This is why, like, you know, back in the day, managers who did go and attend coaching and take charge of coaching, i.e., Mourinho, for example, that's why they did so well, because you know you've got to be able to get it across exactly what you want them to do for each specific game. Keeping in mind that Ollie does not seem to want to sway really from the 4-2-3-1. So really, do they firstly understand what they've got in terms of individual player ability compared to, you know, what it is they're trying to do with this system? Because if they don't, that's where they're falling short, in my opinion.
Makes a good point. Makes a very good point there. It is difficult. It's difficult. You got Mike feeling as well. I ain't really feeling it.
I think he's outdated now.
I mean, look, being a coach in Australia, then coming back to Man United doesn't really like give me high hopes. Really, that's no offense to Mike feeling, because I know he popped that balloon against Alex Ferguson, amazing jump. You remember that, yeah? You remember that?
Yeah, that was a great video.
Brilliant, wasn't it? Was it?
You know, it makes me laugh.
Was it Mike Phelan or was it?
Yeah,
it was Mike Phelan.
Yeah.
Fergie told him to fuck off.
You can just imagine it like, fuck off, you bastard. Oh, dear. Funny that one.
That's
But no, I mean, I don't know what you all think of that, what I just said. I mean, does that make sense to what I said?
Yeah, completely.
I think
whether
we need to swap it.
Yeah, but whether anybody in the comments agrees, let them say. I'm going to shout out a few comments before we go on to the next topic, which is going to be. Well, actually, we were talking about Ronaldo. We need to go on a little bit more about Ronaldo here. Big up Matt from Solo from the Man United Agenda.
Hey, Solo.
Easy. Howdy panel from Rebel Irishman, who does look like Pep Guardiola. Does a little bit there. Big up the panel. Question: what formation would you play against Leicester and why? Okay, maybe that's a good question, actually, Anthony. Start off with Lauren first. Formation. What would you play against Leicester City?
There's a different. I don't know. I think potentially the diamond, but then that's obvious, isn't it? I would like to see 3 at the back, in all honesty. But Ollie's never going to do that. He's more likely to put 10 at the back and 1 up front.
Who are you putting centre back?
Victor.
Right, not Phil Jones. No.
No. I'm a volunteer.
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord.
I'm always going to back Vic.
Exactly. So yeah, look, so you think 3 at the back and hopefully a diamond
that's what
shape.
I'd like to see.
Do you think, Maisie? You think that's good? And what are your thoughts on the lineup?
It's going to be quite difficult knowing that we do have our best 2 centre backs out. I wanted to try a diamond formation, just like Lauren do. 3 at the back, have a left wing and a right wing. What I would like to see, though, I would like to try and see 2 at the top. Both Ronaldo and Cavani.
Yeah, that was my plan.
Imagine both of them together. I'm getting tingles right now just thinking them both together, just because.
Wait, Maisie, it's like seeing Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls on stage together, isn't it? a wonderful thing. It would be.
Because I feel like them two are just going to be our best attacking option, in my opinion. Because I just always wanted to try Ronaldo and Cavani together, even if, like, for instance, Ollie doesn't want to do that diamond formation, put two up front. Ronaldo's still got pace. Why not try him on the left? Because he's still pacey. Put him on the left, put Cavani up front. Because Cavani, I do love Ronaldo, but the difference is between Ronaldo and Cavani is that Cavani presses onto defenders, and this is what you do need in a lot of games.
Can I just butt in and just completely agree with you here and say I had a bit of a tiff with a guy in the Trafford after the last game at home, because I said to him, when it comes to Ronaldo and Cavani, Cavani is the man that is always going to be in the box. Ronaldo, he's not that man. He's a winger, essentially. He is. So he's not got the instinct like Cavani to find those positions in the box. I'm not saying Ronaldo is bad. He's great. But when it comes to, so I would play them both at the front, but I'd slightly bring Ronaldo further back and let Cavani just absolutely man that box and let Ronaldo kind of sweep around him. Because, and this guy was having none of it. This guy was like, Ronaldo was the best, which he is, but he would not take any form of criticism, even though it's not a criticism, because I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just comparing the two, and Cavani's ability and his movement in the box has better initiative.
Even if we play 4-3-3, put Cavani up front and then put Ronaldo on the left, because when you look at that Villarreal game, there was that time there where the ball was like literally nearer to Ronaldo, but Ronaldo didn't run for it because the Villarreal player was nearer. But Cavani, who was on the other side of the pitch, I'd never seen him run so quick, ran over to get the ball, and he still managed to win it back for us. And I was like, oh my God, he is a beautiful man.
He is a beautiful man. He definitely is a beautiful man. But I think you could even put Ronaldo in CDM position and he'd master it.
He'd play anywhere, wouldn't he, really?
Put him anywhere. Honestly, goalkeeper. Honestly, he'd stop shots. He is an athlete. Talk. What do you think about what we've all just said? Do you agree or are you disagreeing on that?
I mean, we've just got to ask ourselves a question, right? Who have we got missing out of the squad? Have we got any players missing that is going to stop Ollie doing the 4-2-3-1? I don't think we have. So I can't see him, especially with all the criticism at the moment around the coaching. He's not going to, I don't think he's going to shy away from playing that system. Although I would like to see him change it to maybe even a 4-1-4-1, like an augmented 4-3-3. But I don't know if he's ready for that just yet. And so I just think he's probably going to stick with the 4-2-3-1, if I'm honest. But again, having, probably if Fred and McTominay are both available, he will be playing them too. And obviously we know that Fred will be the holder.
Well, Fred's
and
still
Scotty
on
will be the
international
carry.
break.
Sorry, say that again.
He could be self-isolating.
He's still on international duty at the moment. He won't be ready for this game.
But it's
is he not back? Is he not?
They're getting a private jet, aren't they, from Liverpool?
They're a red list for him because they're red listed. You have to self-isolate when they come back, so he could be out.
Even vaccinated, it's because it's red list. Yeah, he's still not available.
Even if he can't, right? Because I did hear that story about the private jet. All the clubs sort of putting money together to get a jet to get them back in time. But you know what? Right, well, if that ain't possible, then okay, then we'll throw the question back then. So if that's not possible, it's going to be It's going to be McTominay. Is it going to be McTominay and Matic?
I'm thinking Pogba.
And Matic.
Or even Pogba and Mane. Or he could even put in a wild card, put Matic at the back and play Pogba and McTominay.
And I'm sure as well McTominay has played as a centre-back as well for Scotland, but in the past.
Yep. So he is an option at centre-back too.
Oh, that's a really good shout. That's a really good shout.
Here's an option.
You don't have to play two at the back, though, do you? When you've got Matic there that can do it. I know he can't do it for 90 minutes, but he can do it for the first half. And if you have to like drag on a few players to do it and finish off the game, if you're 3-0 up, then that's happy days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Drag on big Phil Jones.
Oh, God. Put him CDM, yeah? Or,
Yeah.
Well, if he's fit, listen, I think if he's past fit to play, I think he'll be starting. If I'm honest, Phil Jones.
Take that out of the universe. We don't need that negativity there.
No, yeah, but we've got to be realistic.
We
Is he
are.
Is Bailly available?
I don't think he's fit. I've heard rumours that he's not fit again.
I've read that he's
Cool.
back in training now, though. So there's a
Mm.
potential possibility. I'm not 100% sure if he's. I think he came back to training yesterday.
He's either
So-
playing to rush back though.
No,
he does
well,
rush.
no.
He does rush in tackles, doesn't he? So yeah,
Well.
probably. But Phil Jones, I mean, I'm surprised he's not injured. He gets injuries without playing.
God.
So I don't know what he's been doing recently in his social life. Like maybe stopping the chess games, maybe breaking a wrist. I don't know what he's doing.
Someone
But-
breathes near him.
He was in lockdown a lot longer than we was. So like he experienced coronavirus before us. Like, well, he's locked down and self-isolating from us all and everything. Not seen him in ages.
I know, I don't get it. I don't get it with him. But I guess we should move on from that part, shouldn't we? Because I think we all know that we're pretty woeful against Leicester with our defence this weekend because Varane and Maguire are out for a couple of weeks. It does happen. It's very rare that it happens that you get two of your best centre backs out at the same time, but that's due to the boring international break that we've just had. So thank you so much, FIFA and UEFA, for doing that. Very kind of you. So maybe
Happened
just
to Liverpool, didn't it, last season with Van
Yeah.
Dijk and Gomez, and then they had to put Henderson at the back.
Yeah.
And Fabinho, I think. And
Fabinho,
then
and he
Fabinho got
played-
injured.
He played really well, to be fair, at the back for Fabinho.
And he got injured, Fabinho, and then they had
Yeah.
to bring like Nathaniel Phillips at centre back and everything.
Well, I'm going to read out a few more comments and then we'll go on to the last question, which is pretty much what you think the score prediction's going to be. I've got Solo here saying big up Lauren. My guy's Anthony. Yeah, tractor boy. Fred at Man United keeps getting played out of position when he goes back to the national team. He always plays in his usual position. That's the reason why. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, easy on Fred, guys. That's Solo. He's not your hero, though, is he? Clearly, he can't be your hero. Maybe for Shakhtar Donetsk, but not for Man United. Ole is out of his depth. That's why Fred isn't. Beep. Pep wanted him at Man City, and he was forced onto Jose. Solo got a picture of Fred on his bedside cabinet. He kisses it goodnight. I bet Fred likes that. I bet he does. BBB plays an average of 8 minutes per game since he's been at the club, so he's not had the chance at all. Ole block his move to Everton in the transfer window. He's not going to do that. He can't even get a CDM to block the opposition team, let alone blocking.
If I was Ollie, I'd be like, "Come on, Michael Carrick, put your kit on. You're playing as a defensive midfielder today."
Everybody, please do smash to share, subscribe, like if you can. We're doing very good. We're very close to 700, so if you can sort us out, that would be great. So start with you, Lauren. What do you think the result is going to be against Leicester this weekend?
So Leicester's past two league games have been draws 2-2. So I think we're going to do slightly better than that, and I'm going for a 3-2.
3-2 to Man United, I hope.
Of course, yes.
2-3.
Well, yeah.
For a minute there, I was like 3-2. I don't want to see that on Sky Sports.
No way.
Maisie, what about you?
Such a difficult one to predict. I think it's going to be 4-2 to Man United, of course.
Oh, nice. You know what I think? I think a simple 2-0 for Man United. I think 1-0. Like we'll have to scrape the second goal probably in the last 20 minutes. I think, but I Ronaldo to score. What do you think?
Ronaldo would score a hat trick and Jamie Vardy to score an own goal.
Hey, he did, didn't he, in his last game, didn't he?
He did.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wanted to do that for so long, didn't he? He hasn't done that before, I don't think. And fair play to Vardy. You actually scored an own goal in your career. And you're in the 100 club as well, I think Vardy is. So well done to you. Well done to you indeed. Everybody smash the subscribe if you can. There are quite a few people in here today. I want to go straight to Messi Lingard. Sign him up. New 3-year contract, please. I've been saying this for years now. He's a top player. Messi or Lingard? Which one?
No, he's calling him Messi Lingard. That's his name.
Like everyone calls Lingard Lingardio as well.
I get it. Jeffrey Messi. Put a Y on between the I. I think Messi Lingard.
No, he's calling him Messi like Lionel Messi.
I know,
He's so
I know.
good. Why do we need a Y? He ain't Messi. He's concise in his play.
He used to West Ham. What I'm saying. Messi at West Ham. That's what they want. Please don't ever ask Paul Ince any advice at all. I don't. He's not a Manchester United legend moving to Liverpool. I will never forgive him. He is a Man United legend.
Mm.
You don't think so? Hang on, let's talk about this then quickly. Then why is he not? He seems to think that he loves Man United more. I hear about him talking more about Man United, and he did exactly what Michael Owen did. He went to another club before he went to the opposition team. So does it really count?
He's digging his grave, saying that he likes Man United. He did for the club and everything was great. You know, he's brought great memories, but he tarnished any legacy he had when he moved to Liverpool. It's not even as bad as Schmeichel going to City, because Liverpool are a fuckload worse than City will ever be. So any United player moving to Liverpool, whether they went there straight away or they went there in the middle, it is an absolute no-go, and I just don't think it should ever be accepted. And just because he's now digging a grave because he's now an adult and he's going to go, oh, well, I still love United more. Well, you should have loved United more when you went to Liverpool. Rivals. Nope.
But like, I do hear, Lauren, that he literally had no other offers from Inter Milan to go anywhere. And you want to play football, you'll take whoever wants to take you. I get what you're saying. It hurt me when I saw that he went to Liverpool. It hurt me. But hearing him recently, and I think it's the same with Robin van Persie, how he came out and said, look Arsenal fans, it's no disrespect. I love playing for Arsenal, but I just wanted to have a few games or years under Sir Alex Ferguson to be a part of that. And he won a Premier League, so I wouldn't doubt that at all. Maisie, you and Paul Ince?
He's not a legend for me, and I completely agree with what Lauren says. If, for example, you have done so well at a club you're supposed to love, why would you want to tarnish any kind of legacy you have by going to a rival team? It was just like if Ronaldo actually did end up going to Manchester City. It's just, you just would not do that at all. If you had any respect for the club, you just simply would not do that, and you would not tarnish that legend status, because he could have been there as a legend for Man United, but knowing he has gone and done that to go to Liverpool, I wouldn't call him a legend whatsoever. I know Michael Carrick was at Liverpool first, then come to Man United, but I wouldn't call him a legend at Manchester United, Michael Owen.
What about Owen, Maisie?
I wouldn't call him a legend either.
What, at Liverpool or at Man United? How would you... Because it was the other way around, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For me, I feel like with Michael Owen, he was probably better at Manchester United in my eyes, but I just don't feel like he is that legend at the club, because you look at loads of different players who's been at Manchester United, and you can name 20 people before Michael Owen who is a legend before him.
Yeah, I agree. Talk, what about you? Paul Ince, legend at Man United?
No.
Michael Owen, legend at Liverpool?
No. Listen.
I do. I think so. But yeah, you carry on. Why?
What? Michael Owen, legend of Liverpool?
Paul Ince.
Oh, Paul Ince.
Talk about Paul Ince first. Yeah. We'll talk.
Right. No.
throwing in Michael Owen because he's the only other player that's done it the opposite way around. So it's just
nah, I don't see it. I don't see it.
You don't like Paul Ince?
Not a bad player for us, but you can't do that. You don't go there to that place. You don't do it. Simple, isn't it? just like when I tell you what as well. I mean, it's bad enough us taking players from Leeds, but you know what I mean, leaving Leeds to come to United.
Right. Good point.
You've made that point about Leeds. I think the only one which pains me to say, but I will accept, is because he's going back to them, was Alan Smith.
Mm.
As much as it killed me to know he went back to Leeds, he was like one of my first favourite players. But because he used.
Oh, she went.
Where's
So
she gone?
she's gone. Boop. Come back, Lauren. Come back. Where have you gone? So yeah, there she is. Lauren, continue. There you go.
Sorry, it just went black my screen. I think because we got him from Leeds and he came to us, and it was he was decent for us, you know, and he went back to them. I think you can kind of accept that more because that's where their loyalties do lie. Is, you know, he was with Leeds first. It absolutely pained me, but it's a bit like, you know, any kind of player who leaves your club and you don't want them to leave, but they go back to like the boyhood club. You can understand why they would do that, and I think it's funnier that he left Leeds to come to United in the first place.
It's nice to hear, isn't it? Everybody smash the subscribe, share, like. There are quite a few people in right now. Please help us out if you can. I think, you were the last person to ask what the result will be against Leicester this weekend. So please do fill us in before we finish.
Difficult one, isn't it? But I'm going to go 1-0 United. Yeah.
Just a 1-0, yeah?
Yeah, just 1-0. Just 1-0. We'll get an opportunity, a really good opportunity. It'll get buried.
Who's scoring that goal, Talk? Who's scoring the goal for you?
There's only one. There's only one who can score that goal. CR7. Nah, Cristiano Ronaldo.
I hope so. We bought him in for that reason, and he definitely is someone who's proven his worth. I mean, a hat trick for Portugal the other day. I know it was Luxembourg, wasn't it? Yeah, but it's still a hat trick. He's still got to do very well. He could have got 4 goals, I think. Actually, he's very well played actually against them. Luxembourg. I did watch the game. Shout out a few more comments before we finish. Yo, hi, Amazing Lauren and Big Matt. Big Matt, are you mad? You haven't seen me? I'm very small. honestly, I'm standing up right now. Hey, Matt and the panel, big up Statich. I say Statich because of Matic, but Static. Sorry, beg your pardon. Phil Jones is God. You must be mad. What are you smoking? I want to know. None of our coaches are good enough to be at Manchester United. We need elite coaches. Manchester United Football Club are like old boys club, Friends United. Princess of Maine, Arteta has won more than Ole. Yeah, of course you'd say that. Not as a player, though. Not as a player. Get that right. John Terry is a United fan. Be nice.
Oh, never be nice to that fucking dickhead.
He wasn't nice to his teammates, was he? He didn't build the bridge, did he? You know what I mean?
He was nice to us when we won the Champions League, and he done that little bit of a slip, and you know what I mean.
His only redeeming factor.
He says it was the rain. It wasn't even raining. It was just his head.
He just wanted to help his boyhood club to win the Champions League.
Shah United, hi all. Princes of Maine, our under-23s made light work of Big Phil. Great show, apart from you know who. Me? Yeah, probably. I got Ollie's back. Yo, Talk MU, saluting you. Saluting you. Ronaldo will get Ollie the sack. It's only a matter of time. He's the one who's picking up the coaching staff isn't good enough. Now I get to say big up Talk MU. Big up Talk MU. Hi, Rich Sports. How you doing, bro?
Hey, Rich.
By the way, big up Maisie for sticking with and endorsing Brian Clough on your brilliant show last night. I am with you, girl.
Thank you.
Go check out Devils United TV. Should the coaches take all the blame? What about the manager?
Ollie's already,
Yeah.
listen, for me, Ollie has, I said this about, I don't know how long ago it was, but there's a disparity between what Ollie's doing and then the end product, which is the coaching. There's something not quite right there. So how do you work? It's quite clear what it is. Personnel. You know, personnel. Because Fergie's famous quote is communication. If that communication is incorrect, it ain't going to work. Simple.
Well, sorry, I've got a few more. Then we're going to finish up easily. 4-3-3 versus Leicester, and no, Lauren. We are struggling for centre backs, and if we can't master our current formation, I don't want to switch to 3 at the back. I do.
But if we can't master it, then don't you fix it? You switch it up and see if that works.
Lauren will fix it. Get her.
And
Get me that
the start of the season is the season where you can have a little twitch around as well on what works best for the team. Because when it comes to Christmas and when it comes to the end of the season, that is going to be our most crucial time. This is the time where we're going to need them 3 points to secure, if that's going to be the title or if that's going to secure Champions League or Europa League, wherever we are at that point. We need that. Right now, we can do that little bit of twitch and bob. So why not try another formation, see how that is.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. We're going to finish off now. I'm just going to throw out these while I'm saying goodbye to everybody because actually Talk's got to go on a show and he's very late. He's a very naughty boy. Hello, big up you.
I don't think I'm the only one who's supposed to be going on a show. Amazing.
I'm on tomorrow. Oh, sugar plums. Big up the Blues. Everybody, let's shout out your social medias. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please smash subscribe, share, like. Let's start with Maisie first. Where can we find you?
You can find me on my YouTube. My YouTube is Devils United, and you can also find me on my Twitter, and my Twitter is @2_MUFC Maze.
Brilliant. Thank you, Maisie, for coming on. Really nice to have you on. Really
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, mate. Talk, where can we find you, bro?
Probably standing in the corner, in the naughty corner for people late. But yeah, find me on Twitter at iTalkMU, Man United Agenda, Devils United on this channel. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. And last but not least, Lauren, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Lauren Page Souls to talk about football, boxing, and F1 on there. And in a bit, I'll also be on She Devils United.
Oh, nice. Go check out She Devils United as well if you can, people.
Yes.
Really good channel. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. Press subscribe, share, like. I will push that out once again. And until next time, which is hopefully this weekend, we'll see you again for another show. Have a pleasant weekend, everybody, and see you later.
Ciao.
Bye. Bye.